Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Rivera. I'm from Suffolk Community College. I'm taking the class of biomedical ethics. Today, I'm going to be presenting a couple of situations where we talk about, the problems that happen during understaffing in nurses. I just want to make a little disclaimer. My first language is not English, it's actually Spanish. So I might mispronounce a couple things. Please ask, to not judge me. I'll do my best, to express myself correctly. And another thing before I start, I am a single mom, so you might hear maybe, I'm not sure, my kid in the back or something. But if I don't put the TV for him or anything like that, he will not let me do this presentation at all. So that's just a little disclaimer before I start, and here we go. Okay, to start off, I wanted to point out what does understaffing means. Basically means to not have enough employees. This could be, a business, a store, in this case, hospital, clinics, any facility that is there for the patients, patient care. And it basically means that they do not have enough employees. They don't have enough nurses. They don't have medical professionals, doctors, to give the patient their best experience in that facility. And this could be a really, really big problem when it comes to patient care. Basically, they're shorthanded, and in the time they have, they cannot assist each patient in the way they should be assisted and treated. Here, I want to point out some of the problems that understaffing could provoke in the nurses and the patients and their overall negative outcomes. For example, a nurse understaffing, they could feel undervalued, overwhelming, burnt out. They might even want to quit their job, maybe pursue a different career, and basically the patient will not receive the best service. If I might explain better, for example, a nurse has had a long day, she has minimal time, she has a lot of patients to attend, a lot of patients to care for. She understands that each patient deserves the best quality of service, but if it's only her and she has so much, she's gonna feel stressed, she's gonna have a mental breakdown, overwhelmed, and we're only human, we're all human. It is normal, it is okay to feel that way, but when you're in such position, oh my god, it has to be the worst anxiety ever. And she still has to go and take care of each patient, and the patient will not receive the best service because if she's not happy, if she's not okay, the patient will just not receive what they deserve. And that is a really big toll that understaffing makes. It hurts the nurse and hurts the patient at the same time. To back up what I'm presenting, I found a couple of statistics in zpa.com. I think I'm saying it right, zpa.com. And it shows that 2.7 million US, I'm not saying the whole world, I'm specifically saying here in the US, nurses report feeling burnt out. At least 25% of nurses have experienced burnt out symptoms. 85% of nurses feel career fatigue. And the one that actually made me feel really bad is this one, that the number one reason nurses quit in the US is because they feel overworked. That is a huge statement right there. That's why understaffing happens, because one, the hospital won't hire more nurses, and second, some nurses will just leave. They don't want to be there anymore. They don't want to deal with these type of things anymore. And who could blame them? This is something really, really sad, because nurses are basically superheroes. They're there for the patient. And I feel that hospitals and clinics should value more the nurses and give them the value they deserve, for they could feel good and give the patient the best experience they deserve. I wanted to share with y'all this very interesting story. Just a disclaimer, this has never happened in the US history. This is actually very impacting. This is the first time in history 15,000 nurses has decided to go on strike in Minnesota for 3 days for the sole purpose of the patient. And that's what's really heartwarming to me. They didn't do this strike because they wanted to be paid more. Maybe they wanted more benefits, more time. No, they didn't do this whole thing that popped out in the news and everything everywhere because of their needs and their wants. But the patients. This whole strike was about the patient. How the nurses will say, and the president of the Association of Nursing in Minnesota were stating that nurses are being patients are being affected because there are just not enough healthcare workers. There's not enough nurses to be there for each patient. So patients are being harmed in each facility because of such situation that they believe that could be fixed. This is a crisis that has happened for many years, and the US hasn't done basically anything to help the situation. Here are a couple pictures of what happened in September 2022 and the nursing strike. If you pay close attention to the signs and the posters they made, it has a really, really bold and impacting message out there. I did, in the description, I did link the video and the news of when this happened. If you're like more interested in the story, then it's there for your resource, and it's a really, really impacting story, and I definitely recommend to look it up with more details. Here is an article that I found from the National Institute of Health that I wanted to share also with y'all guys. I pointed out patients do not deserve to suffer. This is a harsh article that states that yearly, not monthly, every 5 years, none, yearly, over 20,000 patients were affected by understaffing. This is a big problem because a lot of patients, fathers, mothers, family members, partners, a good friend have died, has lost their life, has had unnecessary death because the facility, the hospital, did not have enough nurses, enough doctors. They were understaffed and could not provide the patient with the treatment, the care, the love they deserve. And these lives should have not been impacted by understaffing. And you might ask the question, why should we care about this, basically? Why is this so important? Why we need to consider anything of this? Well, there's a short answer for that. This is a crisis that has happened for many years, maybe since before we were even born. This has been something that's been going on, a problem that has not been resolved. And who knows when a miracle might happen and it will be resolved. We always have to be optimistic, right? Have a little faith that things will one day change. But the reason we should care about what has happened in the past and it is happened among us is because if this is not resolved, if there's no solution for it, then when we become nurses, when we become health professionals, it's the same type of problem we're gonna deal with. Is the same overwhelmness. We're gonna feel burnt out. We're gonna have anxiety, headaches. We're gonna be so stressed out trying to help everybody in such a time frame. Like, many nurses has had mental health issues because of understaffing. If this is not fixed, you and me might have the same type of issues. And that's why it is something that is so important for us to understand and to try to make a difference and resolve the type of problems that are happening today. Even though it was a very brief presentation of what understaffing is and the type of problems it causes the nurse and the patient, and is something that still has not been resolved, I hope that at least I captured a little your attention and at least made you think in many ways we could try to make the difference and try to resolve such problems. I really thank you for watching my presentation and for paying attention. And I'm really sorry if I mispronounce anything or it sound kind of gibberish. Like I said, my first language is not English, so I really have to think before saying what I want to say. And if you haven't heard a little bit of noise with my baby, I'm sorry about that too. I don't know. I can't keep him in control all the time. And basically, that's it. And thank you. Have a nice day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. Thank you.